guys, welcome in to another episode of the Literature Cafe Global. As always, we have David Koci with us, producing, zooming. We got Francesca Kirkpatrick, poetess, goddess of poetry. Playing the guitar right now, we have Mr. Patrick Michael, and this is the Literature Cafe Global. And without no further ado, Mr. Patrick Michael.
Where's Francesca? We really miss her. Where's Francesca? Where did she go? Nobody knows where she might go. Where's Francesca? Brian messaged her. Brian messaged her. Maybe she'll respond somewhere along the way. Saw her picture on the screen. I know I missed her. What could it be? No one knows where she might go. Maybe she's running late for the show. Okay, there's one. Let's see here.
Woo!
I love my new smartphone. I get lost, it'll guide me home. Doesn't stop me from feeling alone. Well, there's not an app for that. No, there's not an app for that. No matter what I like, I said there's not an app for that. Well, sometimes I think my life's a mess. Seem to fail every test. Still I lie and say I did my best. There's not an app for that. No, there's not an app for that. No matter what I like, I said there's not an app for that. Well, I can play the latest game till my fingers go insane, but still no one at home. There's not an app for that. No, there's not an app for that. No matter what I like, I said there's not an app for that. Okay, well, I guess I'm done for, I'm done for a bit.
Thank you, Patrick. That's some really good material.
Well, Francesca was on the spot. That's why everybody was sitting around wondering where she was. Okay.
Well, it's been a while since I've read any material like totally live on Zoom because my Zoom wasn't working. And it sounds like a PSA for old bad computers and such, but I will do this right now. So you want to get on Zoom and you're sitting there with your little cell phone trying to Zoom away. Find yourself a great computer that works with it. There's a PSA. I back this, and I will never run for president. Anyway, really good to be back. That was a little rant, but that was kind of cool, you know. We've been getting a lot of hits on the YouTubes lately. This will be a YouTube, so hello YouTube. This is the Literature Cafe Global, and tonight you're going to get some great material. The artists here are highly talented. I just love Patrick's music he just played, and there's much more. We're probably going to show some videos of some stuff he's done. Also, the Lightning 100 song, Linda Lou, which is very good. That's going to be on there. David might be featuring some music from Italy with the collective and all. So there's more to this show than you think. The mystery show. So David, how you been?
I've been pretty well. Just been working a lot and trying to make music. When I get off of work, trying to work on different things. A lot of it's instrumental stuff.
Nice.
But it's kind of cool because we could use them for the soundtrack for the show.
Yeah, and this show, one thing about this show, when you've already probably heard the intro that we're speaking of, but it's going to have this amazing intro, and you're going to be like, wow, that's a great intro. So if you like that intro, we did too. And we hope you tune in many times to the Literature Cafe Global, because we're all about connecting people. We've got music, we got poetry, and it's a good time. I'm a big fan of sci-fi stuff. I've seen a lot of poets that go over the edge on erotic material lately because it was Valentine's Day. But I kind of got hooked on the sci-fi game, you know. So can you hear that? This is called The Shadows. Turn on the light bulb, even though it flickers that way. Turn on the shadow sock puppets that creates an imaginary story on the wall and watch the shadows fall. Oh, turn on the black light. Let's see its eerie glow. Turn on the record player. There's vinyl sound to explore. Create an imaginary story on the wall. Turn on the light bulb, even though it flickers that way. Oh, turn on the black light. Let everything look strange as Osric Tentacles jams. It's suddenly years ago. I still might have owned my jams. Turn on the sound. There's rhythm needed all around. This scene needs a dream fulfilled. The sound so sweet and the moment chill. Turn on the light bulb, even though it flickers that way. Oh, turn on the black light that creates an imaginary story on the wall. And watch the shadows fall. Watch the shadows fall. The black light glares against the wall. Turn on the light bulb, even though it flickers that way. Turn on the shadow sock puppets that creates an imaginary story on the wall, and watch the shadows fall. That was a recent poem published on Facebook. Anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Francesca now. Thank you. I'm going to turn it over to Francesca Kirkpatrick, a very good poetess. She is always on another show, so I'm happy to have her here, and she's made some time for us, and she's got some good poems.
Thank you, Brian.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. This one's called Stellinium. 7 heavenly bodies, now 6. Look to your sun sign and rise sign. Your sun is the center of your life sign. Earth cannot live without the sun. Rising and abundant, you are equal. Look for opportunity in life, rising. Use a blend of 2 areas. Trigger. Moon brings energy to crown stars. You are luckier than a leprechaun. Help find your one true love from the cherubs. Cupid has his arrows aimed and babies. Artistic expression is a baby surprise. Look your best in these magic times. Fiercely driving to Mars, that's where we just have landed. March through with luck. This is the world. Your world is an oyster. Leap, veer into digital, high-tech world. New and revolving golden plums. Show intent. Love comes on wings of angels. Well done. Applause, celebrating love. Another little short one I made up. I just turned in some work to be looked at by Sid Perlman out in California. I'm hoping that they enjoy this because it's going to be something. But the night that I was composing, I came up with something else, and I'll show you the picture after I'm done. This isn't what they have, but this is just a picture of something that I was thinking about. Think about your head. Thoughts rise in my head. I can see my body, so look down to your body. Smell home. Smile now. It's all in your hands. Open your heart. The way you chose to live. No one can take it back. Do not waste your time here. Sitting on your backside is not useful. Be kind and help others in need. Plant your feet on the ground and stay before your body dances away. So here's my picture of the movement from the head to the feet. Muchas gracias, y'all guys, and hopefully I'll get to come back in a minute and do some more cool stuff. Oh. And remember, when you're out, masks on. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Francesca.
Good work. That was really interesting. Both of y'all did a really good job.
Oh, there's more poetry to come. I'm just kind of teasing the crowd tonight a little bit.
You've all done wonderful. No.
You know, I want to thank the Academy for this prestigious award. I want to thank my manager. I want to thank the little people. I've always wanted to give that speech. Anyway, I say Mr. David Koci entertains us with a song or two.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, that would be great.
Let's see here.
Tonight kind of reminds me of like a great jam session in a way.
I'm trying to think what I want to play for y'all tonight.
Take your time. We got plenty of time tonight.
I released an album recently, back in January. On January the 13th, I released an album, and it was for me, it was a big deal because I had been wanting to release this album. I pretty much finished it like a year ago, but because I'm kind of behind. I came out with an album last winter. I came out with an album the winter before that, but I don't know. I guess I'm producing music faster than I'm releasing it publicly or whatnot. And it's just been, I finally got it off my chest to release the album, and I was so thrilled that it finally came out. And it's just, So
David,
yeah.
How can people get your album? Let's talk about that for a second.
Well, okay.
Say somebody's at home and like, I want a David Koci Reber head. How do they get said product?
Well, this is a picture of the album right here. So my project name is Reberhead, Reberhead, kind of like Radiohead, but Reber, which is kind of like a play on of two words, rebirth and propeller head, because I use a lot of propeller head software when I make music. But then rebirth, because when I started this project, it was like a whole new thing. I took it in a direction I had not gone before, so I was really wanting to come up with a new name. Before that, I had like other names that I went by, and it was a long time ago. Probably, I've been making Reberhead music since I guess 2003, so it's been a while. But I think I'm gonna play this track for y'all called ASOAE. Which ASOAE stands for Anti-Society of Anachronistic Entities. Now that may sound strange. I'm not like against society. It's more like anti in the sense of the opposite, kind of like the other side of a looking glass or other side of a coin.
Mute Brian. Mute Brian.
Yeah, well, those are actually effects. So I'm gonna play this for y'all. I hope you like it. Brown eyes wide open, colorblind. What's left inside is what's making up her mind. Story untold of two so old. A center balance that was never meant to hold. Justice swings like a pendulum. Existential sentiment as a good omen. I take to heart the patience you provide. Wisdom not meant to forever subside. The ebb where we live our lives. The turbulence gives us breath and mind. A universe that speaks as well as time. Definitions found in the expeditions. When we learn of the words we speak, where our consciousness begins to peak. Led into gold and alchemy. Semantic memories of the existing. Ritual trance to favorite dream. What my life is becoming. Anti-society of anachronistic entities. They never cease to be connecting and reconnecting. Rising star and setting sun. Reflections of what we did become, what we were and who we are. A caravan that has come so far. A caravan that has come so far. Caravan that has come so far. Caravan that has come so far. Caravan. Well, that's one. Could y'all hear that okay? Could y'all hear that okay?
Very good.
Thanks. All right, I'll play one more. If that's, am I okay on time or what do you think?
Right on time.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, this is I guess this would be called industrial music or dark electronic. Some groups would call it similar to Witch House, which is like a subgenre that is not too popular, but it's really interesting music. This next one is called Imbol. Like, I guess we had Imbol this February. Hello. This song is kind of like about how the world is from my perspective. Roll with tides, it doesn't matter which side. That the powers that be align and light. It's just a walk through. It's just a walk through. I try to describe these broken lives with a breeze of leaves, and they Thanks all for listening.
Great. Well, I'm about to follow that up with a sound that's a little different, but it'll take us back to the beat. Jazz beats with percussion, like rain on the tin roof. It's a cold night filled with an isolation and chill. October now, and the night is silent. There is no love like before. The heart's amiss, and it seems that the world's at war. Everyone out there to get their share of your time, including yourself, unable to reach out to the places you'd rather be. So here is where you stay for now. Jazz would swing now in full force as the universe flows in a symphony of wind. Like instruments convey the music of soul. Still the poet plays the sad clown who'd rather be back there in the past, reliving the moment just before the laughter died, long before the faces turned grim and the trapeze artist and the acrobats ceased to fly, long before the carnies and the gypsies arrived to take him to the other side. The verse has become more than one with a pen. There are moments of zen, and yes, I am lonely. No one told me that solace makes dark words. No one told me universes would be disturbed. Jazz beats with the sound of a welling guitar. The story of a one-man show, solo and alone. Story of a poet with thoughts bleak. He's seeking the great story for the novel of his time and tomorrow. It's filled with woe, romance, and intrigue. Yes, through the hopelessness, he just might succeed. For now, the lady of his dreams seems amiss, just love adrift and unseen. However, when the cosmos gives a sign, he will feel the love shine like a hi-hat a tapping, like a rhythm of a song rapping, jazz beats with percussion, like a tin roof on a rainy night. Right. Thank you. Good to be back. And Nashville and the world, we will be having these shows every Monday, 7 to 9 p.m. And David will be throwing them out on YouTube after the Zoom, so you'll reach worldwide exposure. And it's free. So, free stuff. So, Francesca, you got any more poetry for us, or anything you'd like to say or do? Or
I have more.
woo!
I'll read one about. I've got two. You said to do two at a time, so here we go. Wolves in the environment. Wolves, one of the most precious animals, were once in danger of going extinct. We all heard the stories growing up about the big bad wolf and Little Red Riding Hood and the three pigs. All these narratives pointed to something bad about wolves. What does the environment say about wolves? In Yellowstone, for example, the elk population grew. Too great without wolves. Elk ate all the willow trees in the park. Since the reintroduction of wolves in the park, wolves now eat the elk, and this creates a healthier ecosystem. Balance is needed to protect the future. No matter where in the world wolves are reintroduced, it seems to help. Beavers and other animals have made a comeback due to wolves. Ranchers and hunters were under the wrong beliefs, killing beautiful wolves that only were helping to control the environment. Wolf packs have integral roles in nature. Despite their comeback, wolves need our support more than ever to tell a better story that will keep wolves a part of the environment. So I believe if we didn't make them look so bad in stories, back then people told folklore stories, and I think that was part of it. People were like, ooh, they said those wolves were bad. But they didn't have any idea how impact they would be having on our future. And here's one about our future. Short one. AI. AI is our future. Robots who cannot catch a virus. AI have computer viruses. International meltdowns. There are cures trained IT solutions. Bodies are not as lucky as they begin breathing. It takes genetics and knowledge to survive. Man knows what it takes to run computers. Science makes computers smaller and smaller. The computers can now make their own AI. AI now exists without human programming. What are our bodies? Where do we stand in all this world? Can our bodies remain historic vessels? Moving to AI worlds was science fiction. Thank you.
Bravo.
That was awesome. I really liked the second one especially. I often think about AI, and it's kind of like the movie AI or whatever. It was pretty cool. I liked that movie. And
Yeah. I think we're headed for that. I think we're headed for a future in this. And especially with all the virus and stuff like that, I think there's going to be a lot more, how we have to put a lot more trust in that situation because who's going to help run things? We just got to train our future, train us for our future and make sure that we respect both people, both that people can be, and then who is behind it. Well, humans made something that can also be replacing humans. So thank you so much.
my hopes is that like it'll turn more into like Star Trek than Star Wars in the future.
I like that.
I love both like movies. They're both awesome. What do you call it? Series of movies or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Star Trek has a little bit more more like relation to people. Like you can watch Star Trek, Star Trek, you can find lessons. Star Trek gives you the lessons that you need to think about. And also the funniest thing is I'm on a portal, right? What do
Okay.
those people use to go into somebody else's place? They used it like a portal thing, right? A thing that portaled them into another world. So I'm thinking about like, how if you watched in Star Wars, they destroyed a lot of things and people and it was just a lot more violent than I think the other one was. But, who knows what our world will become. And Star Wars, Star Wars was like war and drones
Like
and
Star Wars.
do what?
Well, if you think about it, as our tech increases, that's going to be the weapons they use.
Yeah.
So I think laser beams will be in the future at some point. I mean,
There's going to be a lot of stuff that we see that we never thought we would see, especially, look, last week we landed on Mars.
exactly.
And like we were,
Well, and when this
so
broadcast
close.
is heard 300 years from now, when somebody replays it, they'll be like, "Those people were quoting history," and yes, we are.
Yeah.
Are those rovers with
back.
freaking laser beams attached to them? No, I'm joking.
Laser beams.
I got a laser beam on my nose. Look, I've got a laser beam on my nose. Just kidding. No. It just seems like, we're all going to be doing something in the future. So if it's, right now the shift because of what happened with our inauguration is poetry. So right now poetry and music are being more respected, but yet still there's still no budget in that. I mean, hopefully they'll make a way that we get, you know, some sort of
I'm still waiting for my poetry
thing other than yeah.
Poetry stipend. Yeah.
It takes a lot of hard work, especially on Fiverr. If you're a Fiverr with anything, it'll take a lot of work because they can just pay you anything if you join Fiverr. And you can look at it, but maybe worth even just little pennies, even, you know, because like, what if you're not getting anything at all? I don't know. So it's like you have to make a choice sometimes. You got to make a choice about what you know, where you put your stuff. But I can say that I know Zoner. I've seen Lightning 100 work, and I know the guy who programs that radio station. And I can hear David's music going somewhere with it. I mean,
Well, later in the program, we're going to be featuring Patrick's work on Lightning 100, which has been documented
yeah,
already. But we're going to do a great replay.
I'm excited.
So there's some editing involved in this show, but trust me, folks, it's going to be worth every minute of it.
Did he go, Patrick, who was the person that interviewed him?
Oh, I don't know how it went down. Pat? Yeah. They want to know how your Lightning 100 thing happened. What? They want to know how your Lightning 100 song happened.
It just sort of grew. Many words together.
I can't. Couldn't hear him.
Actually, it started out as me trying to get Peggy Sue down on the guitar.
He said it started out him trying to get Peggy Sue down on the guitar, and that's what it became. But
Awesome.
But without spoiling it, it's a great video, and I've watched it over and over before.
Well, I was just asking him who interviewed him. I just didn't know because I know the people that work for the station.
The man himself.
Lanny Ford interviewed me and brought me on. Yes, to come in and play one day.
Who did?
Lanny Ford.
Awesome.
She was, is, and might be a local musician now. I don't know. She came here to make it, and it didn't work out. I don't know.
Well, we're excited about you. We're excited that we have you to hear.
Well, thank you.
And I was just telling Brian that I know Keith Coes and a bunch of the Lightning 100 radio station program director and a bunch of those people.
Yeah.
I've been friends with them for many years, over 20 years.
Oh,
so
yeah, they're good people.
They are good people. I'm excited for, you know, music to just keep going because even though we don't have a lot of places to play right now, we still need to be putting it out there.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's one thing about the computer. You can do it now without much problem. You know how that goes.
Yeah, well, some people maybe don't know how still. I mean, look, the skills that you have, maybe they don't have.
Yeah.
Got to teach the children well. Teach the children how to, you know, to do all that, everything.
My first computer was 286. I actually put the little chips in the board to make it 1 meg of memory. So I've been around computers for a while.
You're good at it. We don't mean to keep you up if you're tired.
Oh, no. No, I'm good.
And all the questions I don't mean to ask, but I just think about, we need to know, like how did you get involved and how wonderful that was for you to be able to play for people and to be recorded from history, you know?
Well, it was great. I guess I was probably a little nervous about it, but I knew her because I was at Bobby's, and
Yeah,
out of all the people
Bobby's.
playing that night, she was the most different that I heard, you know, because a lot of people try to be, you know, they try to be Waylon Jennings or whatever country star. is popular at that point in time. But she had a totally different style and approach, and I really thought it was cool. So I struck up a conversation with her, and then we sort of became friends. And she was doing a show where she would invite local artists in to play their music, and I was probably second or third on the list. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. That sounds really awesome. I'm so happy we know you, Patrick, Mr. Patrick, because you mean a lot to me, Patrick.
Oh, thank you.
And I always love listening to you and hearing, the latest work you've either done or something that you've done. You remind me so much of different things, but yet yourself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you carry a style, but yet you carry it yourself. You have your own way to do these words, and it's always neat to experience it whenever you have the energy to play for us. So we need to keep you rested up so that you can do more whenever you feel like it.
You heard my latest tonight. That was off the cuff.
Yeah,
Hi,
I like that.
Patrick.
Yeah.
I've got a video that Brian sent me of you playing in the living room. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Not offhand.
He sent it to me to play on the show. Would you like me to play it? Awesome. It's a really good performance. I like it a lot. So this is Patrick Michael, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm going to try this share the screen
I'm gonna pause
thing
my mic.
and see if I can get it to work. So let's see. Yeah, let's try to. I'm still learning how to do all this stuff. Let's see here. So here we go.
That's okay. We learn by doing.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. There we go. Can y'all see that okay?
Yep.
Awesome. I'm going to try to. Yeah. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Pat.
And now, Mr. Patrick Michael on the Literature Cafe Global. Thank you, Patrick.
I really liked it. It was such a nice sound, Patrick. It was a very nice sound.
well, I've been playing for quite a while.
Yeah. It's okay to share how long you've been playing. Nobody will look, we look up to you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, I don't know why, but like my third or fourth grade teacher said that one should always be involved in the arts. And I took that to heart. And so I always was trying to do something artistic. And then I found music. And I fell in love with it. I'd always listened real heavily to music. I mean, I had a cassette tape that by the Kinks that I wore out. But yeah, so music sort of just, I don't know, it's the one art form that I can do, and I like it. So I was doing painting until my ex-girlfriend didn't want me to buy any more paint.
Oh, no, that's not good.
Yeah, well, we were broke. I was trying to buy cobalt blue, and at that time, for some reason, cobalt blue got really expensive.
Picasso.
Cobalt blue. It's a deep blue, kind of a like stars at night or the night sky.
Yeah. Well, when people tell me stuff like that, I try to find something. I just mix my own if I could try to match that color.
Do it anyway, yeah.
Do it anyway. I'm stubborn.
Yeah.
I'm like I'm a Taurus, so you can tell. I'm like the bull that's got their feet on the ground, like I said in my last poem.
Yeah.
Earth sign.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a couple of new songs in the works. But,
well, I hope that you paint again if you want to. I hope that you start painting again too.
Well, I gave that up a long time. I was 18.
Well, it's never too late to take it up again.
Yeah.
There's something peaceful in those brush strokes, sir.
Oh yeah.
That's a good point. There's a funny joke about that actually. It's don't buy to keep your kids from like getting into drugs and bad things and stuff like that. Get them into art. That way they spend all their money on art supplies. Yeah.
Good idea. Well, that's just it. I don't know why the teacher said that, but she was just offhand one day. She said she thought everybody should participate in some form of art, no matter what it is, because it's good for you or something.
It is.
Well, yeah, I think I don't know. I guess some people just don't want to think, but I think it's good to have some creative outlet. Nothing else get out your frustrations.
Absolutely.
I hate you forever. Whatever.
Now the Dollar Tree even carries art supplies, so they're like $1. Yeah, they're like some watercolors or anything. There's all kinds of different ones. They got all kinds of colors, and like I said, and they even have those little canvases for less than $1 a piece. So
yeah.
So if you get creative, or you just want to get a piece of paper or paint on the back of a cardboard box, for goodness sakes, people used to do that. Just grab a cardboard box and go for it, or paint a jar. I don't know, but I'm just saying, if you feel the need to be artistic, do it.
Like that, this artist had been broke or whatever, and they had painted all their stuff on either cardboard or something like cardboard.
Piece of wood. This one lady painted her whole house and her walls and everything. In those little backwood countries, she just started painting her walls and everything, and people would come by and they're like, "Oh, that's beautiful."
Yeah, the preservers were having a fit about it because it was degradable, and they were worried that it was going to rot before they got to it.
Yeah.
Preservers, that's wonderful.
Pretty well, it's there.
Historic societies.
they went to that village in France where his last days were, and
Yeah.
so they went up to this bar and they were talking to the owner about, yeah, we had this crazy painter, but I don't know what to do with this stuff. He said, you know, you can have it for what you want. They went upstairs. And there was like 20 Van Goghs sitting there. And what had happened was the owner had taken pity on the poor guy and, you know, would give him a drink for a painting. So this was not 10 years ago, but they had all these Van Goghs that had never been seen or found because basically kept the paintings and gave him a drink or whatever he was wanting. You know, basically probably drinks. But yeah, he had about 10 or 20 paintings from Van Gogh himself. Yeah. The guy who owned it thought they were just, you know, some crazy guy's paintings that his grandfather had, you know, let the guy have a drink for a Van Gogh.
I knew that he had Van Goghs, he might have thought differently.
I don't know what happened, but yeah. Funny thing I saw in a Van Gogh movie, it was about Van Gogh. One of his most biggest collectors invited him to the house, and he went to the house and he sat down. He kept looking at the walls, like not one painting was on a wall. He said, "Where are my paintings?" So down in storage, and they had like put them in a special vault. They'd saved all his paintings in the vault. He was like, "I painted these to be put on walls, not in storage." But yeah.
That would kind of trip me out too.
Yeah.
They didn't have none hanging up.
Yeah, they didn't have one hanging up. They were all like in, you know, preservation vaults, whatever they would call them. Yeah, it kind of freaked him out. He was like, he kept looking at the guy's walls, like, where are they? You know. Oh, David.
You know, it's so amazing how, you know, not too much time ago, maybe 80 years ago, I mean, you would hear a lot of people, you know, famous artists that we learned about in school, but these people were not alive when they got popular, or maybe just on their last limb when they got popular or whatever.
Or living in garrets in Paris, you know. They weren't.
Well, like for instance, we did a song on that album, that first one we worked on. We're actually working on another thing of music and creativity, but what Pat was talking about the garrets, like they were kind of like cold water flats for beats back then, you know, and it was harsh living because they were cold and things like that, but yep. Little fun beatnik facts.
A lot of times people don't want to pay for art.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, art's often given away so freely that you better have had a good day job. Because I think one famous poet was a banker or something like that.
Yeah, it's. I talked about that a lot with my friends in Italy. The way, you know, you want to have time to make your art and music, but in order to get the equipment and the ability to have places to play and things like that, you got to make some money. You got to find a way to like fund your hobby or whatever. It just doesn't, you know, you can't really count on anybody else to do that for you, you know. And
if you had a perpetual GoFundMe, you might be all right. But I don't always feel all right going, "Hey, can you please send me some money?" You know.
Yeah, I see that a lot on YouTube.
Yeah, I see a lot of people asking for money now, famous and non-famous.
Or getting somebody to support the show.
And I get it. You need money, but
Buy my stuff.
you know, it's funny. Some of my gear is kind of expensive, but some of it's not. Like, I don't know if it's really showing me on the video right now. Can you see? I don't know if it's showing me as the.
That's a nice keyboard.
Yeah. Well, I got this for like $35.
Sweet.
Yeah, I just find gear that nobody wants, and it works just as good as more expensive gear.
It's all about refurbishing things, really. My best computers are refurbished, you know. If people have refurbished more computers, everybody could have a computer. You know.
Yes, the computer I use, I built it so it was cheaper than it would be if, but that's probably like where most of my money goes is like my computer, that I use for the music and video production and stuff. But everything else is, I don't know, either cheap or I got it as a present, or some things I went in debt and had to pay off, but not many of them. So just like one or two, like my speakers and my mixing board, my audio interface thingy, those things were expensive and took me like forever to pay off. And I don't know, but I did eventually, so that was good. So.
That's how Reberhead was born.
Oh my gosh, I wish I would like to tell y'all this story. I went to Los Angeles. I went out there. I was working at Baskin Robbins in Green Hills at the time, living with a friend and just paying what I could because I wasn't making any money. And then I just couldn't. I was mopping the floor one night and I just couldn't take it anymore. And I was just like, I went back to the place and I was like, I was thinking, where can I move that would be the most, I don't know, a place that people would probably make fun of me the most for trying to move to, and probably the silliest decision, but maybe I would get the most out of it. And I thought Los Angeles. So I told my roommate, I was like, I want to move somewhere. What do you think? And they were like, okay. And I was like, what if we move to Los Angeles? And they're like, we have to leave tomorrow. We'll never go. So I quit my job. We took all our money out of the bank and just drove across the United States and found an apartment. And there's more to the story than that. But it's, in Los Angeles, when I got there, I opened up my laptop and like most of the software for some reason just quit working. I don't know why. And so I had the most basic software to use, and I used like an old limited edition version of Pro Tools and some cheap synthesizer software and an acoustic guitar, and I recorded like a 9-song album with all that stuff. And that was how I started Reberhead. It was like, because I think the program that I used actually was called Rebirth. It was like a free synthesizer program.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I started Reberhead, and I was just because I was thankful for what actually did work, because everything else didn't. So I was just like, I don't know. It is, you just take what you have and do the best with it that you can. So I lived there for 4 months, and then I just couldn't afford it anymore, so I moved back. But I don't know. I'm happy where I am now, so that's good.
Often limitation inspires creativity, because working around something makes you have to think more about it.
Yeah. Yeah, you like grind your brain. And I'm the type of person, I know there's a lot that I don't know. There's like a whole lot that I don't know. But the thought of not knowing stuff really freaks me out. I like to know things.
Yeah, well, it's like one of the old jazz sayings was, it's the notes you don't play rather than the notes you play. But I see that with guitars a lot. They'll do scales. They'll get real repetitive.
Hey, David.
Like, dude, slow down.
Richard wants you to send him the Zoom link.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, one moment, please.
All right, he's going to send you the Zoom link.
You hung up on me.
No, I didn't. You're live on the show saying you got hung up on. This is great entertainment.
I got hung up on, man.
I was ignored.
I got hung up on.
That's my next poem.
Don't hang
Yeah,
me
you're
up.
going to send the link.
Don't hang me up.
Don't send me the link if my computer won't run it.
Oh, his computer can't handle it. It's all right, folks.
Who we were talking to was Richard, Brian's brother. He provides us with all of the photography for the show that we use in the introductions and stuff like that. He's an amazing photographer. He's really good.
He is a great photographer. He's like, God. It's all right. He likes to hide behind the camera so much.
Hey, Richard. It's Francesca. How you doing?
Oh no. Hi.
This is like
Oh,
one of
no.
those life shows where you force somebody, because you know
What's
we're
oh no?
right now too. So
Oh no.
hey, we like to have fun on this show.
Who's saying oh
Absolutely.
no?
This is probably I
Oh,
really
yeah.
enjoy all of the content of this show. And at the
We have
same
Surprise
time,
Attack Theater.
like it's just been the most laid back show, and I really like
This
that
has been
too.
the most laid back show I think we've ever done. In fact, I know this is going to be on YouTube 300 years from now plus. So we're speaking to the future of the world, and everybody's here. We actually invited the entire planet, but only 3 people could arrive. And my brother on the cell phone, so 5 of us on this planet have arrived for this show. So I feel
have
like
a
it's been a great success.
right.
Yeah.
This next song goes out to those of you
Right.
in 2055 Anno Domini. No, I don't know. I could play a song. You want me to play a song?
I think you
Or
should
would
play
you
a
like me
song,
to?
David.
Yeah.
Sounds like
You
a
think
good
so?
idea. It is a show.
Go for it.
All right. Let's see here.
It's still recording. David's froze. This is the part.
Can you see me now? Am I still froze?
No, you're unfroze.
Oh, I think I was just being very still.
Yeah, you might have been being very still. On top of being a Zoom producer, David could stand very still like a mannequin.
What's this?
That looks so real, man. I'd be like, yep, you've got the Macy's job now.
That's pretty good. See here.
Yes.
Okay, I'll play y'all an instrumental. How about that? This is called Anomalini. It's about being in public and everybody's looking at you like you don't belong there. And it's a freaky feeling. It's like you're an anomaly, like you stand out. It's like you're the sore thumb. Or I think Stalin said a nail slightly sticking out of the wood will be hammered down eventually.
That was wonderful.
That was good, yeah.
Thanks very much. Yeah, I'm still working on that bagpipe part, but I thought it was kind of cool. Like I was messing with the synthesizer, trying to think of like how I can make a bagpipe sound out of raw waveforms, and that's what I came up with. Kind of sounds like a bagpipe. I don't know.
It's not very convincing.
Yeah, I think bagpipes are pretty cool. I'm kind of like wondering. I guess different bagpipes are tuned differently, kind of like flutes, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Like some of them are more like major, some of them are minor, and it's interesting. I don't know. I really don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know a whole lot about bagpipes. I know it's a Scottish thing, right?
Yeah.
I know they sound great. I don't know, but I love bagpipes. But anyways, yeah. So let me think. Would anybody else like to do any poetry or anything?
Well, I'll do one more piece, and I'll let Francesca have the last part of the night because we're actually hitting 8:57,
Oh,
and
Wow.
we're wow, brick house.
wow.
I'm gonna do this one without music because it's one that we've done off the first album that we've worked on, and we're working on another album as I've been talking about it, The Unknown Sounds. So if you see that out there and it looks unknown, it's us.
Unknown
Yeah.
sounds. Yes.
If you look up Unknown Sounds, it gives you really weird Google searches. Not many music groups, so it's kind of cool.
I have some unknown sound stickers that I need to get to you still.
Yes.
I don't think you have those. I'm trying to look to see. I thought I had. I think it fell off my wall, but I had an Unknown Sounds album
Yeah,
cover. If I can find that, I'll be quiet now. But I'm gonna look for that, and I'll see if I can find it by the time you're done.
Okay. This is called Blurry. And this was a first rendition of it. On the album, might sound a bit different. Blurred spots on the horizon sign to the road of destiny, to manifest in a fourth dimensional view, to see beyond all colors and hues, to have the blues when the world is down, to be able to make upside down frowns, blurred spots on the highway with an infinite limit. You see car lights glare, semi, trucks, and trailers scream out into the night, passing each other with swift turns and trajectory. In the mirror, visions of reflections see blurred spots on the highway at dawn, strange songs and a reflection of light upon the sand, a land of the damned come to life, an image and a symbol, mandalas across a desert of words, namaste written in the golden dunes that drift away, blurred spots in the universal ink blot Rorschach test. In life, we manifest different dimensional views. Stretch your thoughts out to a movie scene. Strange vision from afar. That piece of dust on the sand. Thank you. All right. You there, David?
Yes.
All right.
I'm sorry. I had to use the restroom really quick.
That's cool. We sponsor our shows with restroom breaks. You can do this while you're at home. This show is sponsored by the toilet. Really not.
Oh God.
No, that's just a crappy thing to do. I can't do that. I'm sorry. No.
Oh, that was good.
Thank you. It's good to have one funny joke, you know.
Absolutely. Knock knock.
Who's there?
The chicken.
The chicken who?
The chicken that crossed the road.
Wow. Well, Francesca, would you like to do a couple more pieces and end the show in a poetic light?
Well, that sounds wonderful.
All right, we'll let you be the ending process of the show.
All right. The beauty of souls dancing. When friends die, it's not just grief that fills our mind. It's the memories that flood back into our lives. We search for scraps of what they once were to us. Our favorite songs, jokes, places come back to tickle our brains. Bubbles of the friends that have passed on float up, pop without warning. Stars twinkle in the night sky, while snowflakes melt in my hair. Butterflies in the field remind us of beauty of souls dancing. Fields of gold covered in flowers sway softly as the breeze blows. Trees rooted to the ground wave their branches like stories shared by friends. Leaves fall down to cover the ground and start new connections. So that was one for my ending. And this will be the last one. Just have to grab it real quick. I sailed upon an Irish sea. I sailed upon an Irish sea. I tossed, I tumbled in the water. For a storm was by my side. My boat was in the ocean blue, riding on high tide. Fishing has been my life at sea. In my boat I ride. The storms grew closer as I left the shore. They all wanted supper from the island catch. I just want to play fetch with my little lass and Irish setter, dance a jig with my wife and with fair hair and fair skin, repair my roof before the rain and wind gets in. I sail up on an Irish sea, there is no other life for me. Row me boat out to the water, catch of the day, and I'm on the way back to those who love me. No, my name is not Captain Jack or Jamie. My friends just call me Finny, 'cause I catch those fish aplenty. The gale wind's blowing. I gotta make it home before it starts a snowing. There ain't no better place for me than the arms of my sweet pea. I'm happy with my heart and my hearth, my plate and my ale. That's all I dream of when I set sail up on the Irish Sea. Thank you. I wrote that when I was out in actually water headed toward Ireland because I felt my connections with my Irish family.
Very good.
That's so awesome.
Thank you. I love genealogy.
I've always wanted to go to Ireland. I'm sure I'm gonna go one day. I'm gonna do the.
You will. You will.
Thanks.
Just hold tight.
Cool.
Everything's, everything's gonna be all right, y'all.
Yeah.
We just gotta take a little time, take another precious time. Think about this. We're getting more precious time with our loved ones and our families. So that's the main thing. Even if you don't have family, but you got loved ones. But anyway, I think you know what I mean.
Yeah, we have family and loved ones, and yeah, not in Ireland, but I mean, it's definitely great to stay in contact with everybody, and I'm adopted, so you learn that
Understand?
not everybody that you're blood related to is your family. You meet people
Right.
throughout your life that wind up being a part of your family, so it's pretty neat.
That's great. That's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Because that's the same thing for me. I don't have that much family, and I didn't get to spend time with mine, and it's just wonderful to have friends that can do that for you, be the friend family. Thank you.
Oh, you are.
Absolutely.
Francesca, you've been there since the very first show, and it's been a pleasure having you at every show.
Yeah, it's been like
I've
a
been
year
there.
for me now, and
Wow.
it's just y'all are like family to me, like people I look forward to seeing, and I feel like I've gotten to know y'all so well in the last year. I mean, I knew Brian before then, but I didn't know Francesca or Patrick, Michael, and it's just so wonderful to get to know y'all, and to see how our lives progress throughout these,
Well,
throughout
the
this
first
last year.
show,
The same. The new life coming in your life. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Oh man, me and Abby, my wife, we were so stoked. We're just like freaking out. We're just like, oh, this is so. It's like an adventure, like an adventure that you do at home, raising a kid. So that's gonna be really awesome.
at some point in David's studio, there's going to be a crib in the corner, and we'll have to bring the baby for the show. Yeah.
I'm gonna be playing the Grateful Dead song "What's Become of the Baby."
Yeah.
I don't know. No, that sounds terrible. Actually, I don't know what I'm talking about.
We'll be singing lullabies to the baby.
Yeah,
we'll sing lullabies.
Yes.
We'll write poetry that makes it, the lullaby kind of poetry.
Oh yeah, I'll probably be like my uncle, like singing him silly songs all the time.
Of course you will, because that's your kid.
Yeah.
You'd be like, I love reading Dr. Seuss. I saw MC Chris reading Dr. Seuss, and it was, I think it might have been Dr. Seuss or one of those stories, because he's done some live stuff lately, and it's really been interesting to see MC Chris being himself. The guy is a really stand-up dude. He just out there.
He's an interesting guy. I think his music's really awesome.
He's on Facebook a lot lately, just giving like open shows where he's just not music shows, but where he's just talking to people. And I've heard him talk about lots of stuff like science fiction and shows and everything, basic things. I'm like, wow. So I think with this COVID thing going on, it's interesting how people are starting to pop up on Facebook that never were there before, like you can see your favorite singer or something on the Facebook.
Yeah, it's really neat. It reminds me of when the first COVID-19 stuff started happening. Eddie Vedder did a show from home from Pearl Jam, and I just really, it kind of melted my heart because, I grew up listening to Pearl Jam, and it was just really
suddenly
cool.
You're listening for free. You're like, wow.
Yeah, where he's just playing this dynamite
it's
show.
Live too. Yeah.
It was wonderful. And my wife and I were watching The Voice this year, and I know a lot of people think that's a cheesy show. I don't know. It kind of warms my heart. I just like that.
I was going to say I worked on The Voice, and another little fact: the Eddie Vedder thing. I had I had got free tickets when I was really younger, like 19 or something. I had to rock myself. Said I would cover myself in peanut butter and rock myself in chocolate because there was a challenge at 103 KDF. I won the contest, so I won tickets to see Pearl Jam. It was so awesome. But anyway,
congratulations. Wow.
It was a good thing. And then I wanted to so bad when we were in one town, but we didn't get to. He was playing the ukulele. He was going to do ukulele stuff, and I was there 2 nights when he was there, but I didn't make it over to the arena. That was sad. But that would have been fun.
That would have been cool.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Tori Amos a lot. I'm a big fan of her as far as
that one too. I've seen several times and had connections. It's so cool. Have you seen her latest book?
I didn't know she had a book. That's cool.
Yeah, she got on live, and she's got a song now too with her daughter.
Oh,
she's
wow.
singing with her daughter.
I think
Get online and you'll find it on YouTube. Yeah, if I find it, I'll send it because I've got some people who really love Tori.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I've seen a lot of shows, but I've seen her 5 times. Somehow I wound up seeing her 5 times, and I'm not really sure how. But I don't know. Her music, of all the 90s music that brings back nostalgia, probably her music does it the most. I don't know. That and
it's a magical to your heart. She speaks to you because of the words that she uses. She speaks from real life stuff, but yet she turns it into a fairy tale as well when she sings. So,
oh yeah,
I think that. But she did a book release earlier this year, and she lives in Brighton, England, and she and her daughter did this little interview about the book. But then also she did a video. Her and her daughter. Her daughter is actually singing parts in the little song, and it's really cool. And actually, they're standing together singing a cool thing. Anyway, I'd look it up. If, like I said, if you don't find it, let me know and I'll try to find it and send it.
That'd be great. I would like to see that, and that would be like a dream come true to have a kid and then them grow up and play music too. You know, that'd just be that. I'd feel like
It can happen.
Yeah,
It can really happen.
Yeah, I think
It happens a lot.
I'm just gonna try to make music fun, you know, for my son, and hopefully he'll get into it. And if he plays football, then he plays football, you know. But like, I don't know. I just hope that he likes to do art and stuff and music.
We'll teach them everything you want, and they will pick up what they like, and just do it in a nice way, and you know they'll be there. They'll be doing it.
That's a good point. Like the whole thing about teach them a bunch of different things and they'll take what they choose to have, you know. That's the way life really works, I think. And a lot of people overlook that, or we feel like obligated to use this knowledge or do this trade or something, you know. But what I'm saying is, like, life is really like a book where you take what works for you and it's okay to leave the rest behind, you know. I feel like
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's neat.
So hopefully, best of luck to everything and good health to you guys. And
thanks. Good health to y'all too. Yeah, because we need it. I'm a big homeopathic person. I definitely, you know, believe in medicine and stuff, but I definitely don't think that we need to forget about the herbs and everything. Make sure we know we're not allergic to certain herbs, but like other than that, like herbal medicine and proper nutrition and getting your vitamins and minerals is so important. And I think a lot of people just overlook that. And but I think it's a big thing that will keep us from getting sick.
Oh yeah, it will. Definitely will. Yep. You'll figure it all out, and that'll be good because everybody's got to have some sort of plan. And the more you plan, the more you're going to be having a good thing.
That's a good point. My stepdad and I we like discuss sometimes. I'll say you plan stuff and God laughs, but he's like, no, that's not the way it goes. You need to actually come up with plans. Like, okay, that sounds good. He's probably right. He's
maybe not something too much for you, but just even small, even just thinking like, here's the little pinpoint and I'm going to do this. And then you can like even have a hat and say, okay, these are the ideas that I had and these are the ideas that I did. And then go back and go through them like as if they were in a hat or a jar. And then you can be like, oh, yes, that idea actually led to something. So you'll start doing more of those ideas as you see that they actually take off and go even other directions that you never even expected. Just have faith in it. Have faith in what you do and just keep doing it. Don't worry about what other people do or say because they really don't know what they're talking about anyway most of the time. They're just you know.
There's this old.
It'll shock you.
I don't know if y'all ever listen to Came After the M, but they're one of my favorite bands in high school. Like that, really. It's like a heavy beat, industrial music or whatever. But they got a song that's like, "It doesn't really matter what you believe. It doesn't really matter if you belong." I don't know. It's a cool song.
It's a good one. Any of those. I tell people that right now, you like say sometimes you're listening to a soundtrack of our lives, which right now I believe it's REM, because you know there's a lot of places. Stand with the place where you were. There's a lot of songs that if you listen to that that they've done that makes sense right now. I mean, you can think about other songs before it started to happen last year. There are other band albums and stuff like that their lyrics just make so much sense.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Drive. Yeah. Remember that song Drive by REM?
Yeah.
That one really makes me think of what the way the world is right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that song came out in 91, 92, but like I totally feel like it's still relevant today for sure. And
they pretty much knew, yeah.
Oh yeah, and like in 91, 92, what was happening? That was like the fall of the Berlin Wall just recently happened, and
Yes.
the way the Soviet Union turned back into Russia, and
Mhm.
the Gulf War, and oh my God, those were some interesting
yeah.
times.
They are.
But anyways, I
Many.
don't. Do we need to get off the
Yeah.
phone or not phone, but Zoom meeting? Brian, what are you thinking?
You guys, and we could end it now, and we could tell people there's going to be some more footage, some videos that David might add. So if you stuck with us this long, send us no money. Just keep on watching.